If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam.
All right. Welcome back again for those who have been here earlier to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. I'm going to try to make this very short and sweet because it's quite interesting, right? When someone makes content about somebody, particularly in someone in the field of activism, no matter who it is, you may not like their points of views, you may not like how they do things, and that's perfectly fine. But the lie has to stop. The lies, the manipulation, the tattletelling, the doxing, all that has to cease. Because what you're doing is no different from what the person who is constantly making content, dirty ass content, if you ask me. When that person makes content about Dr. Umar and basically telling lies and just coming up with all types of stuff, and on top of that, criticizing him about, I think the one thing that people criticize him about is the little snow bunnyism thing, which I truly don't care about because that's not of importance. I mean, it's part of it. But the one thing that really gets on my nerves about people is when it gets personal. When it gets personal, when it goes back to the family, that's when that particular person that is being scanned, doxed, that person should take action over the person who is doing content, or with the person that he's literally criticizing. And assassinating his character, saying all types of nonsense, saying that he's snorting cocaine, living in his mama's basement, which, even if that were the case, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? He has to take care of his mother, as he illustrated on the Joe podcast show. I think it was like damn near a year. You got a man who is not just going after his reputation, but going after his family, and y'all don't find that weird. But when I do something, when I go and defend that which is unrighteous, then it's a problem. It's like you want the fuck shit to continue. And I get it. There's a lot of fuck boys out there that want to see content like Lennon Honors. There's a lot of fuck boys out there who want to see this man fail, who want to see Umar fail. Monty Woodgrain just came back, and it seems like he's picked off where he never left. And that's cool. No one's stunting him. No one's stunting him at all. Not even me. Because he's nothing but small potatoes. I'm going after the big fishes. I'm going after the big fishes. Ain't nobody stunting Lennon Honor either, but then again, he has a lot of animosity. A lot of animosity, and people have a problem with me pointing out the bullshit, which I don't give two solitary fucks. When he comes out with bullshit, I'm gonna come out with bullshit. That's just the cream of the crops of it, homie. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. It's like I give a fuck of whoever don't like what I put out. Bitch, I do content just to do. When I do content, it's either for a purpose, or for defense, or for the greater good. Y'all don't know what good content is. He does the exact same nonsense, and you don't see it. You don't see it because you want the shits and giggles. Well, if I do the shits and giggles, it's a problem. I haven't even gotten to the shits and giggles yet, because there's so much content about. A young man came up here and poured his heart out about Lennon Honor, and all of it was 100% facts. All of it was 100% true. We are literally, no, I take all that back. Umar is literally, he doesn't have to deal with it, but he literally has to deal with a man who is so obsessed that he would go about his way to dox his address. And y'all don't have a problem with that. But if I dox y'all addresses and I find out where y'all live, y'all have a problem with it. What's the hypocrisy in that? And then you got this goofball, which I'm gonna be doing showing his shit in a minute, which is, it's literally small potatoes. But I looked at his YouTube page, and this guy's a regular old nut. And he ain't got nothing else better to do but just to do content on any and everybody. But he doesn't. But the hypocriticism of it is, he calls himself a Christian, and he's basically blaspheming and judging everyone. I didn't know that a Christian could do all those things. I didn't know Christians could blaspheme. I did not know Christians could blaspheme. That's interesting. I thought I mean, at first he looked like one of these Jehovah's Witnesses or something like that. I don't know. But the fact that his name is Woke Christian, this nigga needs to go back to sleep. Or it's what Geno Jenkins, Pastor Geno Jenkins would say. He's a heathen. I like how he said it. This brother ain't nothing but a heathen. You know, making content about another man and just spreading all types of nonsense, which I'm going to debunk, by the way. But back to this nut job that needs to be sued. Lennon Honor needs to be sued to the highest of the highest order. And anybody else who has a gripe with him, why don't you, instead of wasting time on making videos about Dr. Umar Ifatunde, why don't you debate him? Especially this woke Christian guy. Why don't you debate him instead of arguing with him? Just text him, call him, email him. Say, I want to debate you one-on-one. D.L. Hughley opened his mouth and called him out. And Umar said, we can debate. Just come on through. He chickened out like a pussy. Because you're the one with the you're the one with the platform, you're the one with the money, you're the one with the celebrity, you're the one with the superstardom, you're the one with celebrityism, and you're calling one man out all because of his points of views about Kamala Harris. It's only apropos if you just debate him like you said you was going to do, but you didn't want to do it because you're too chicken shit of a coward to do so. So therefore, either debate him or shut the fuck up about it. It's that simple. If I can't debate you, I'm not going to say anything about it. But I can debate Lennon Honor with my eyes closed. Because all you're going to do is pull out old content. All he does is pull out old content back in the started out with 2010, 2009, somewhere around there. And all he's going to do is share and put his little spin on it. And unless Umar comes with anything new, and by the way, Umar doesn't even have a YouTube channel. There's some fake ones out there, but his channel he does not have because everybody wants to hack and dox, and it's all types of nonsense. I need some water. You keep saying that, Calvin. You keep saying that. Come up with something better. You keep saying that. It's not and I'll address your question because it's only fair. It's not the fact that he avoids people who ask him hard questions. He's been asking the hard questions ever since he's been pursuing a school. And it's not just when he was pursuing a school, they have asked him numerous questions for years. And when you have been asked the same questions over and over and over again, it's quite annoying. Just like when you come up here and you ask me the same crazy questions over and over again, and I get annoyed, well, not really, because I already know what's coming. But since you not you, but since you all don't want to be fair on it, then I guess we have people out there who is gonna just start messing with y'all. See, it's cool when he does it. It's wrong when I do it. Fuck them. Fuck them all. When homeboy comes out with lies on him saying that he's snorting cocaine and all because he's doing something with his nose and making that sound with his nose. He's snorting cocaine. I don't know a person that snorts cocaine, right, and acts this intelligent. And then the other part, oh yeah, and then about the other part where he's out of control. You mean he's passionate? You get all passionate when it comes to the Lord. You get all passionate when you proclaim that. I don't want to shit on nobody's religion, but when you're a Christian and when you feel the Holy Ghost, you get what? Excited. You get fulfilled, right? Why isn't it that when Umar goes to Ghana and gets his dual citizenship, he can't be fulfilled? That is crazy to me. This is something that anybody would want. And when you get it, you get excited for it. But no, he's losing his cool. It's a double standard. If I boy, there's a sucker born every day. It's a sucker born every day. But let me not beat a dead horse here. All I'm saying is, it's cool when Lenonana comes out with his little videos on Umar, which is the same thing, the same content. And then every now and then he'll shoot something out of his ass, like he went to Africa to start tricking off. Really? So that's what Umar's doing. Umar was messing with little girls. Slander. I'm telling you. And I am upset with Umar over the simple fact that he needs to stop clowning around and start passing papers out. He needs to start passing out papers. It's cool. It'll be a cool thing if I were to dox Calvin. It would be a cool thing, right? And if I were to make content on Calvin, but Calvin, right? If I were to dox him, guess what happened? Oh no, but it's cool when he does it. Okay, all right. It's cool when he does it, but it's wrong when I do it. Fuck him. Each time he comes out with content, I'm just going to come out with something a little more fierce. And if I can help it, I'm just going to I'm going to go to his page and I'm going to challenge him. I said, either shut the fuck up and debate Umar one-on-one, which you can't, or and you can bring any and everything you want. You can bring PowerPoints, you can bring your stupid ass documentaries, and Umar's gonna bring his lawyer. Umar's gonna do nothing but bring his lawyer. It's like, you did all this? Do you have proof that Umar's been snorting cocaine? Do you have proof that Umar's been with a snow bunny? Oh, okay. So let me direct you to Judge so and so. I wish it was Judge Joe Brown. Let me direct you to Judge so and so, so you can sign these papers, so he can sue you for slander and defamation of character, and get a cease and desist letter because you've been stalking my father, you've been stalking my mother, you've been basically stalking my family. Here's a cease and desist letter. I mean, that's what I would do if I was in his shoes, but I'm not. I'm not. All right, on to the Christian guy that is also spreading lies and deceitfulness. Fair use.
Believe that he's good for Black society. I think he might be an intellectual. He says some very encouraging things at times. However, you cannot excuse his complete and utter disdain.
And I'm not even mad at the guy anymore. I'm pretty much over his views and his opinions about Umar, because anybody can have an opinion. And I would basically tell you can take your opinion and shove it up where the sun don't. What's the old saying? Take your opinions and put it where the good Lord split your assumption. I don't know, but it's been a while. But anyway, he has his opinions, but the lies I don't like. Here's a couple. There's a few lies that I caught in this video. Let's review.
For people that he disagrees with, and we're going to look at it right here in this video. Now, Kevin Samuels some time ago made a term called sign language: shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. I want you to see in this 2-minute clip how Dr. Umar Johnson uses sign language against another Black man that he disagrees with. Now, I have zero issue with somebody holding a position that I disagree with, or maybe that is not good for myself. However, when you make such bombastic claims about something and literally hold somebody to a standard, it would be beneficial if you yourself held to those standards, or at least made an attempt. We're going to talk
standards. That is a very broad and ambiguous term that you just said there, sir. Very broad. But I'm gonna let it rock. Hey, Mel.
Talk about that at the end. But right now, let's go ahead and bring Dr. Umar in, and let's go. This is from shout out and fair use. This is from the Joe Budden podcast. It's just a snippet from it, but I want to give you a chance to just.
Oh, and by the way, sis, I just want to say I love you and I respect you. We're not always going to agree to disagree. But you're still my sister. Just want to let you know. So what did you say? If it couldn't be proved? you think he would be held their folks to account and got a bag? I really wish you would proven. Oh, okay. If it could have been if it couldn't be proven, you think he would be held their folks you mean accountable and gotten him a bag? You must be talking about Umar. I don't know if Joe gave him in this one. I don't know if Joe gave him a bag or not. I mean, he's capable of doing so. And oh, by the way, he's doing a second podcast with Joe Budden. And I can't wait to see the content. I can't wait to see it because this one was actually rocking. This one actually rocked, and I listened to it over and over and over again. And these two here, they ain't got no beef. They just got differences of opinion. But let me continue.
See what I mean?
Something just hit me. Shoot. Are you mixed race? No. Or you a bunny hopper?
That's an insult right there. To call somebody.
No, it isn't. I already caught you in a lie. He did not say, before I say anything, let me rewind it.
Right there. To call somebody a bunny hopper is an insult.
Hopper.
That's to see what I mean. Let's go.
Something just hit me. Shoot. Are you mixed race? No. Or you a bunny hopper?
That's an insult right there.
No, it isn't. Because Umar asked if he is a bunny hopper. Asking and accusing him of being a bunny hopper are two different things. So I caught you in a lie right there.
To call somebody a bunny hopper is an insult. He's saying that a black man that dates, marries, or is involved with women of another race.
It was a question. He asked him, was he a bunny hopper? He didn't say, you're a bunny hopper. You see the I can just smell lie right there. I can just smell a lie. And of course, you don't like him because he's not a Christian-based, godly, European-like sound type of a guy. Because he's from that blackety black era. And I've been over your page. I witnessed all the traders in your mix, and you mixing it with the traders, and you talking to the traders, and I heard a white man earlier on your platform, and he was married allegedly to a African princess, no longer. That's quite strange to me. But then again, you got your shit over there, and we got ours. We do not exile ourselves from our Africanity. Maybe you do, because you are the world, you are the children. You think life will be a better day, so let's start giving type of a person.
Particularly of the less melanated kind, is a bunny hopper. I don't know where he got that term from, but that's his insult. So there's the I.
Yes.
That's why you have a liberal perspective. That's not true. That's not, because you go home to a white woman.
Yes.
That's the shame. He's shaming that man, saying your mindset is in.
No. Well, another lie. Where Dr. Umar is illustrating that the more that you side with your enemy, the more you sleep with the enemy, the more you become the enemy. Just imagine just imagine us being in slavery and happen to work with the slave master from way back in those days, And well, that's a bad illustration. We don't want to go back to the slavery because you wouldn't even understand it. Pretty much, if you're signed with the enemy and you're sleeping with the enemy, you become the enemy. And I ask this of all, if I ask this of all my brothers who have white girlfriends, what do white women benefit from being with you other than having sex? What is there? And don't say love, because love don't exist when it comes to a white woman being with a black man, a black woman being with a white man. That don't exist. I mean, if you don't believe me, ask all the individuals, ask all those celebrities, including Halle Berry, including Stacey Dash, and all these other, and Cuba Gooding Jr. What happens when you marry someone outside your race? Ask Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake. I mean, it's cool when you hanging out with the brothers. It's cool when you hang out with the brothers and you mix it up with the brothers and yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to that revolutionary time, they stand right back. You never hear from them again. Remember that Janet Jackson incident? Oops.
Fused by the woman that you date or are married to or sleeping with. That's the shame.
But that's not true. I felt this way before I met my white girlfriend.
So help me understand how you could be so passionate about the black flaw.
I'm passionate. I'm an objective thinker. If something makes sense.
So you have no loyalty to the black community?
No, I do.
There's the guilt. He's guilting that man, saying that you're not even loyal to black people. You don't support black people because of who it is that you've married or whatnot like that. And let's keep it going.
I probably employ more blacks than you.
Okay, so help me understand.
Now, he let that slide, and I want to go and say that. Hey, yo, Dr. Umar Johnson employs nobody. This young man right here, it said, like, I employ more black people than you do, so catch me outside.
Saying that you employ more blacks than me, but you go home to a white woman. Why you don't have a black woman?
Guilt. There's the guilt. But wait, Jason.
First and foremost, how the fuck do you know who Umars have selected for his school? You don't know that. You don't know what he's been doing. You've been asking constant questions about what he does with the school. Has he been inside the school? He's never been inside the school. You a damn lie. You are a damn lie. If you are Lennon, you are a freaking liar, sir. If you watch Lennon, you are a fan of Lennon Honor. You should know, sir. No, Christians are not supposed to be liars. Oh, no. Christians are supposed to not even gossip. Oh my, this is gossiping, sir. I thought you were a Christian. God said up to the, I think it was an apostle or something. I forgot what chapter that was. I'm still stuck on Revelation and Acts. But I guess it was a particular chapter that said, I'd rather cut my tongue off than have a serpent's tongue. Because it's gossiping. Sir, the man has been outside the building. He goes up there. He doesn't have to put any major work that he doesn't have to do what he's paid contractors to do. Sir, I can pull up video after video of contractors going in and out that building. Sir, where is your Christian faith? Where is your faith, sir? Sir, Jesus said, and I quote, well, I'm paraphrasing, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed. Didn't he say that? That's quite interesting. God, Jesus.
So that's not guilty. Watch this.
Fell in love with a white woman, not a black.
Why do fall in love with a black woman?
I fell in love with a black woman when we broke up.
Okay, and why didn't you find it fall in love with another black woman?
I did that too. We broke up.
Okay, and why didn't you get another one and another one and another one until you found the right one?
Because I met a white woman that I fell in love with, and that's the person.
And you're being disingenuous about something. And let me tell you what you're being disingenuous about.
True.
Romance is a function of focus and opportunity.
This is need to be right. So we've already seen the shame. We've already seen the insult. We've seen the.
No, there was no shame and there was no insult. If you can't be acquiescent to the truth, if you can't listen to truth, then what's the point of us having a conversation? Dr. Umar is only pointing out the fact, and this could be anyone. I wonder what gripe he would have with Dr. John Henry Clark. I wonder what gripe this guy would have with Dr. Ben. I wonder what gripe this guy would have with pretty much everybody. That's an activist. That's a scholar. I wonder what problems you would have. But you just mentioned Kevin Samuels earlier. He's not an activist. He was not an activist. And you know what? I'm not going to even do that to the brother because the brother has been deceased for three, maybe 4 years. So I'm not going to do that to him. All I'm going to say is about Kevin Samuels is he was a good guy, but he just made time to time bad content about women. That's what I would say. We need more brothers like him that will concentrate on the men and how they act, because we need everybody on the front lines to do so. That's what I would like to see. Malcolm and Martin had their differences, but they put aside their differences to fight amongst the bad element. But unfortunately, due to Malcolm X's death at the hands of, yes, the FBI, I'm just going to say it, he wouldn't have made that happen. But just imagine if Malcolm were alive at the same time that Martin Luther King was alive. That would have been powerful. But people like you never want to see things like that come to fruition. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame.
The guilt. Now we're watching the need to be right. Let's go.
If I want to date an Asian, I'm going to put myself around Asian women so I can find one.
Sure.
If I want to date a Latino, I'm going to put myself around Latino women so I can date one. If you wanted to marry a black woman, you would have put yourself around black women so you can find one. So how did you end up with the Caucasian? No disrespect to her.
No, not at all. What I'm telling you is the places that I go socially are not just monolithic.
So what? I went to a white college, white job. I never bunny hopped.
Listen to my question. Let me answer you. That wasn't my priority. My priority wasn't, I'm not closed off to dating Latino women. I'm not closed off to dating Asian women. I'm not closed off to dating white women. So again, in my search for romance, all of those things were on the table.
But you do understand that by not being with a black woman, you undermine the success of the black community.
All right, now right there, Dr. Umar Johnson stepped in it. I'm gonna back that up just a little second, just so you can hear what Dr. Umar Johnson just said, because we're gonna discuss that in a moment.
Things were on the table.
But you do understand that by not being with a black woman, you undermine the success of the black community.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Then tell me how the black community benefits from you having a white woman.
Okay. It would seem like somebody that is this demonstrative would be able to carry their own weight, will be able to demonstrate, show and prove, as we like to say, right? We'll be back in a second about that.
If I lend to the financial
uplifting
of that community,
Okay, let me be fair once again. But first, Wendy Johnson, thank you for coming on to the show. She says slavery was horrible. I was listening to an account of our skin used as leather shoes. Yes. Well, I mean, of course. I mean, what do you think? What, I ain't gonna go there with the trees and everything. I'm not gonna do that because you may not understand where I come from when it comes to melanin. When it comes to our melanin, white people need our melanin the most. I mean, if you can chuck this up to the cows all day. You see that black boy that's hanging from that tree like that? And this is an account because a lot of white women, a lot of them, yell wolf. You know, they get beat up, and they get slapped down by their husbands who are slave masters, and then they start looking in because they feel some type of shame and they feel some type of guilt, and they want to take it out on a black slave. So this is what they do. They try to mate with them. We try to mate with the male, and this is what they get. The constant reminder of the constant reminder of who we are in this country is astounding. We don't even know who we are anymore. We don't. And you mean to tell me we are more successful now than we have ever been before just because we're with a snow bunny? Or it doesn't, or as people would put it, it doesn't even matter who you with. Love is love. Well, where's the love of this back then? Where was all that love then? Where was all this then? That's a part of a pig. They ate good. And they gave us the sloppiest of the pigs. And we had, and thank goodness, we had a black woman that knew how to cook for survival skills. We don't even want to admit. We don't even want to admit. If things collapsed right now, if we were to gather together, set aside our differences, and get after this white supremacy, just attack it from the, and let's just say we won. The guilt and the shame, this whole system would collapse. Because white folks wouldn't even know what to do. They'll send in the military. But wait a minute. It ain't no different from what happened in Africa. The man came in with guns in Africa. And there was a man named Shaka Zulu who had warriors who fought against those soldiers. Need I remind you of the Haitians? 1804? Need I remind you of back then? The people of today, I know. They're like, man, it don't matter if you black or white. Take that Michael Jackson shit somewhere else, please. Please. And Calvin said, we need more Kevin Samuels. Dude, open your eyes, bro. Open your freaking eyes. You're going about what the enemy wants. Kevin Samuels was doing this for content. He wasn't doing it for anything else. Although, like I said, I respect where he came from when it came to the men, getting the men in line. I remember Kevin Samuels, one of the videos that he came out with, talking with the young man, and he said, "You got a big D?" You got a big D? He said, "What?" He's like, "You got a big D. You got a big D. You got a big wallet. You ain't got no big D. You got a big wallet. You got to go out there and you got to sacrifice. Get off the freaking internet. Go in and get 2 jobs. The first job is the first paycheck you get to pay your bills. The second one is to put aside money for yourself." That's the Kevin Samuels that I know. But that didn't get merely his clicks and views as when he basically started attacking the women. Huh. I did African ancestry. I did African ancestry to find out where my family came from. I will stay with my own people, though. That's good. And as you should. And as we all should travel to Africa. I said this before and I'll say it again. We all should travel to the continent of Africa, whether it be Sydney, Senegal, the Congo, Ghana, Unigal. I think that was what the name was. Mont's been to Ghana a dozen times. She did business there, but because of COVID, she had to stop traveling because she's in her 80s now. She's like 84 years of age, possibly, maybe. But she's been there, and she has been dubbed Queen Mother of some tribe that she basically went to. But it's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful experience for us to go. But
that's one thing. Here. Two, if I'm helping to educate the people in that particular community, that's a benefit.
Does not your white woman benefit more from your economics than any black person?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
So why can't they both be mutually beneficial?
You want to know why? Because she belongs to the group that is responsible for the historical oppression of your race.
So
why would you voluntarily go over and marry into that? Because when you marry the woman, you don't just marry the woman or date the woman. You're dating her community and her culture. So and given the history of us and them, why would you dare align yourself with that if you care about us?
Let me ask you a question.
Y'all remember Emmett Till, right? Y'all remember the 14-year-old boy that got mutilated, just murdered. Let's just say murdered. He got murdered, deleted, but before they shot him, they dismemberized him. A 14-year-old kid for smiling at a white woman, and you want me to be cockily googly eyed with these people? Fuck you. Fuck you. And I mean that with every fiber of my fucking being. How would you like for your kid to be like that? How would you like for them to drag your kid from one city, from one state to go to the next state, and all he was doing was just visiting his family? That's all he was doing. It was just visiting his family. And he got this all because he was smiling at a white woman. And that white woman is still alive to this very day. Very sad.
Okay. So that was just the clip I want to bring in real quick. And again, I call Dr. Umar Johnson a complete and utter hypocrite. Not only does he cannot respect that a black man would hold a position that he disagreed with. It's not as demonstrative as you're talking about. It's not doing anything damage, hurt to anybody else. The man just wants to be with the woman that he wants to be with.
That's not the point. That wasn't the point. And you just plain missed it because you're so busy when we are the world. What's wrong with being with somebody who loves you? Again. I hate explaining myself over and over and over again. That's why it'd be apropos for you just to bleach yourself. I mean, literally, just bleach yourself, just like Little Kim did, just like Sammy Sosa did. They just bleached themselves because they didn't like obviously they didn't like who they were. Otherwise, they would have never did it. I don't want to speculate that Serena did the same thing, and maybe she put too much powder on her face. But I don't know. I checked. Last time I checked, Serena Williams, her face was a little lighter. But I don't want to I just want to I'll look at it again because I love Venus and Serena, but they're married to snow bunnies. I gotta stop saying that. That just sounds weird coming from me. They just date white. They date their enemies. They date their predecessors. I'll just put it that way. I have to find a label or a word to go with it. I have to find a label because I don't want to say snow bunnies. It just sounds like, where did that come from? So I'll just say they're sleeping with the enemy. Let's just say that. She did bleach her skin? You're serious. You are not serious. My sister did not bleach her skin. That is crazy, yo. This dude is being denoncious. I agree. Again, you get people like that who are with the Christian faith, not knowing that your Bible has been forged and been duplicated dozens of times. But the one thing that I'm just going to say this, the one thing that people seem to love to read when it comes to the biblical text is the what version was it? It's not the American version. It's not the American version. It's not the other made up version. What version do they love to read? It's been so long since the King James. Everybody loves to read the King James version of the Bible. But if we dug down deep on who King James really was, I think we would, yeah. So I'm gonna tread lightly. There's some earlier videos that I've done about King James that you would be surprised, you would be shocked to hear about Mr. King James. But everybody loves to read that version of the Bible. Let me continue.
What's the problem? Now, here's the problem that I want to point out. Dr. Umar Johnson makes a lot of hay. He made a lot of hay about supporting the Black community. You would think that somebody like that would show and prove, right? Dr. Umar Johnson is not married to a Black woman. Dr. Umar Johnson has 2 baby mamas outside of wedlock, never married to him. He himself is a habitual dater. He's always looking for the next queen, but he himself is not committed to any woman at all. And matter of fact, he's got 2 children out there in the world that do not have a dad in the home. So,
nigga, first and foremost, enough with the slander, because it's slanderous at this point. You don't know. None of you niggas know any. Well, let me not say that. None of you so-called Christian brothers know anything about Umar's personal life. You only know it through the people that say it. And once they say it, you repeat it instead of doing your own research. So anything that Lennon Honor said, because you're a Lennon Honor lover, let's just put it that way. You're a Lennon Honor flip-flopper. You go to his channel, get bits and pieces of information, and then you rock with it to the best of your ability. All because he said, you have 2 baby mamas, which is true. But you don't know their relationship. You don't know the relationship of the first or the second baby mama. He has a 22-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old daughter, which we shouldn't be touching. We shouldn't be gossiping on the children. Those are his kids, not yours. You don't know what type of relationship that he has with those kids. It would be apropos to keep your damn mouth shut. But no, you're going to go back to Lenanana and you're going to seek some more information and some more and some more and some more. And pretty soon, you're going to be a centipede. You're going to be a centipede. And if you don't know what a centipede is, look it up. This is amazing.
Dr. Umar Johnson is a complete and total hypocrite. He can say this to the cows come home about whatever he wants to say about the black community, blah, 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 in the macro sense, in the
blah, 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 blah. And you don't see the importance of the first of all, how is he a hypocrite when he has not dwelled away from his Africanity? Not one time. That's why he's considered I wouldn't call him this, but it sticks. The Prince of Pan-Africanism for a reason. He knows more about Pan-Africanism than anyone who is alive right now. Do you know your Africanity, sir? Sir. Excuse me. Do you know anything about your Africanity? Can you trace your lineage back to your forefathers, your aunts, your uncles, your sisters, your brothers, if you have them, your lineage tracing it back to Africa or wherever it is? Because we were spread all around. We were diverse everywhere. It's not just in Africa, but that's your main base, your main source is in Africa. If Africa goes, so do you. But you don't see that. You don't see this because you're so stuck in fairy tale land. That's crazy. He talks about another man's wife and how kids should be raised. Fair game. So, Calvin, do you have a snow bunny? Do you love if the church as is it loveth you? So you like your white women? You like them white women? Is that what I'm hearing? You love your white women, but you don't know a damn thing about your race. I have not one time you come up here and you debunk me about history. You have not challenged me not one time about history, your history, black history, African history. It's cool when you do it. It's wrong when I do it. Fuck you.
The micro sense, when it comes down to showing and proving, coming home to a black wife and little black babies day after day after day after day, Dr. Umar Johnson does not meet the criteria. So who is he to sit there and tell Ish, the guy on the podcast, that he's bad, he's wrong, he's lesser because he doesn't have a black wife, black girlfriend, whatever like that. Well, Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't have one.
The reason why he's not married right now, and it's quite okay, because number one, the dating scene is kind of tough. And number two, why would Dr. Umar marry a person that doesn't want to marry him? Did you know that? Why would it's cut up to different parts. Number one, everybody likes talking about purpose and what their purpose is in life. So Umar came up with his purpose and basically told, now, truth be told, everyone makes mistakes and everyone makes bad choices. That's a fact. So getting them pregnant, I mean, that's his business. But being on your purpose, being that you have a mission in life to become an assistant principal, former principal, which he once was, um, going around the world, and lecturing and feeding to the and lecturing to the people and doing good works for the people. That's mainly what he wanted to do. I mean, he could have been a defense attorney. I mean, he could have got his degree and been a defense attorney, but he decided that this was the best thing for him. So he was on his purpose. And if a woman does not side with your purpose, there's no need to get married to that man. There's no need. But we all want to criticize one another for not being married to the person that doesn't want to marry you. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway.
No, watch this. And even I think it slid under the radar. And I pointed out for a second when Ish said, I employ more people than you do. Dr. Umar Johnson still has not opened up that school. Still to this day, almost a decade of collecting funds, of receiving donations, all this kind of stuff, all this hoopla. And that school is still not open.
How many times are you going to go to Lynn? I just need to know. How many times are you going to go to Lynn and Honor? And not only take bits and pieces of old information, but how many times you going to keep doing this little slanderous type of thing? That's first and foremost. You said, you asked the question, how did he pay for the school? He's been paid for the school, sir. Is that his building? Does he go into those? But he's been doing work in that school, sir. And he's going to open it not because you want him to open it. Are you a donor? If you're a donor, I can understand. And I want some paperwork. I want some paperwork stating that you're a donor. Are you a donor? Have you given a dime? Have you put a dime into that school? Have you went to Wilmington, Delaware? I forgot the address. Have you gone to Wilmington, Delaware, drove into that school, and actually helped this brother make his mission complete? If not, please shut the hell up about that fucking school. Please shut up about the school.
Still not to this day. So, hey, Dr. Umar Johnson, I mean, why don't you, instead of using sign language, instead of being a hypocrite, how about you
instead of following Kevin Samuels, instead of following all these other hypocrites, why don't you just go and do what you have to do and help Umar Johnson get this school off the ground? Otherwise, then shut the hell up. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. There's a sucker born every single day. Jesus. They will never allow him to open up that school. You keep saying that. It's not what they will have him do. It's not a they thing. Dr. Umar Ifatunde does not worry about a they. He worries about if God does not want him to open up the school, it's obvious for a reason. But people are going to criticize God for having Umar not open up the school. That's crazy. That's asinine. So you're going to criticize God? Wow. Can't do anything without their permission. That's why see, here's the thing, Michael. Thank you for coming to the show. The certificate of occupancy, I'm not worried, but I do have questions. I do have questions about the certificate of occupancy. And is he going to be able to get it? because I'm not a school psychologist. I'm not a teacher. I'm not none of these things. I don't even know the first thing to do to open up a school to get people's attention. If it's government based, then yeah. But this is private. This is black owned. So I would not know. He might have to put in some work. He might have to grab his lawyer or whatever. But however he's supposed to do it, I'm skeptical about this. I really am, because this is it. The floors are possibly done by now. I don't know, but after the floors, it's a certificate of occupancy. And after the certificate of occupancy, everything else is in play. Everything is pretty much a wrap after that. I really want him to open up the school next month, because next month is Black History Month. But Black History Month is being overshadowed by Chinese New Year. Why? What the fuck? I am going to advocate to these people, to the mayor, to the governors, to move. Either give us another month, a longer month, because 28 days ain't shit. Give us a longer month, or you can remove Chinese New Year, because it's an insult. We can't have a whole year to ourselves. We can't have a whole month to ourselves. That's crazy. Plus, the brother wears too many hats. His narcissist is too extreme. Whose narcissist are you? Who are you speaking about? You said he's not. Who's a narcissist? Dr. Umar, February 2025. We hope. You see, we have January. We at the end of January. Yeah, February, March, April, May, June. I mean, he can just go on till June or July and open it then if he wanted to. But he has plans in between then when it comes to the school. And of course, he has one of these, and this is a little secret. He has people that he has possibly hired already, but he has one of those, what we call secret meetings, the meeting of the minds, and it's nowhere recorded. Not even I know what's going on, but people who I talk to on a regular basis know what's going on. Oh boy. I want to give you a little snippet. Something that what me and Umar used to talk about. I think I have it somewhere. I think I have it in my archives. I haven't reviewed it in so long, but I think I think I have it in the right spot, and I had to put it in the right spot just in case I had to use it. I want to share it with y'all. Those who are new, I definitely want to share it with y'all. Let's see. No, I don't want Michi X. Let's see. I think I have to do research again. Nope, it's right here. And this was years ago. Hey, Zora. Zora, my love. Oh, my goodness. I haven't seen you in a bit. How you been? Well, here I am. Here I am right here. I can't fair use myself, so why do I want to join my own podcast?
We have been outdistanced politically and economically by every group in this country. And I would even argue that if we have not been passed up by the Mexicans yet, we will soon be passed up by the Mexicans. And the reason they have outdistanced us so much is because they move as a community. They do not move as a collection of individuals. We are the only people who moves as a collection of individuals. We're the only people who does that. So I know you said, what can 1, 2, 3, or 4 of you do? And you can do something. But the most important thing that needs to be done is we have to build institutions. It's no way around it. We need institutions and we need systems of employment, systems of community accountability, systems of community protection, a system of transporting our sisters around after it gets dark outside to safeguard them against human sex trafficking. We need systems that deliberately solve problems, and we need institutions that provide for the needs.
I didn't know he had the goat up there. I did not know that. I did know it was the guy, and I did not know that. Yo, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the motherfucking channel. I did not know he had that up there. Wow, bro. You do that anyway.
Of the people. If we're not talking systems of survival and institutions for the people, then we're not talking solutions. Solutions are institutions and systems, not conversations, not lectures, not trips, not dashikis, not Kwanzaa, not Black history. None of that matters. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying it's not relevant, but I am saying it's not essential. Systems and institutions are.
Hey, let's get these likes up. Let's try to get these likes up to 13. Let's try to get these likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Let's try to get these likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to get these likes up to 13. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's get
or
it.
how you make a people independent. We don't have any systems. We don't have any institutions. We're waiting around for reparations while we waste $2 billion a year on nonsense. We are in denial. And we are in denial mostly about the role we play in our own demise.
Dr. Johnson, I don't want to keep you for very long because I know you got other lectures that you need to go to.
We good till 45, my brother. We got 30 minutes.
We got 30 minutes? Okay. Well, let me just ask this, because pretty much I asked what I needed. Subscribe for the people what Pan-Africanism is.
Pan-Africanism, which is the black man's oldest formal religion, not religion, philosophy or political orientation, will be summed up in 4 points. Number 1, all African people in the world, all African people in the world are but one family.
Yes, sir.
We are one family. Whether we are in Brazil speaking Portuguese, whether we are in Jamaica speaking Patois, whether we are in Nigeria speaking Yoruba, whether we are in Senegal speaking Wolof, whether we are in Kenya speaking Kikuyu, whether we are in Brooklyn or Philly or LA or Oklahoma or Texas speaking Ebonics, whether we are super light bright skin or super dark chocolate, whether we are Muslim or Christian, whether we got straight hair or nappy hair, whether we believe in Muhammad or Jesus, we are one family. And we don't let nothing come between our family. And we identify as family before we identify as anything else. Being an American will never be more important than being an African. Being a Christian will never be more important than being an African. Being a Kappa or Q will never be more important than being an African. Being a Mason or an Elk is not more important than being an African. Being a Haitian or a Ghanaian or an Eritrean isn't more important than being an African. To be African is a biological, neurological, anthropological, spiritual, cultural, and historical reality shared by all members of the original African family that God placed on the fertile soil of Nile Valley, Africa. We are one, and only through oneness will we survive and save ourselves. So we automatically reject any tribalism. We automatically reject any division whatsoever in the African family, because our enemy is not each other. Our enemy is not each other. That don't mean we can't correct each other. That don't mean we can't call each other out when we do wrong things and engage in anti-African behavior.
Who is that guy? Who's that guy right there? Look at that boy, corn boy right there. You know We-On-Loc there. Yeah, boy. His hair not long than mine, no. I get full of myself sometimes.
Behavior. Yes, we must expose the contradiction, because only through exposing the contradictions can we progress as a people. But we never take our eyes off white supremacy so we can fight with each other, because no African in the world has ever done to me even remotely what the European has done. No African in the world has ever done to me even remotely what a European has done. So that's number one, African family first. Number two, as Africa goes, so goes the rest of us. As you heard me say a minute ago, every non-white group in America invests in their international homeland except us. And that's why we don't have an international homeland to speak up for us, because we rather drop $2 billion in Air Jordans instead of $2 billion in African reconstruction. We rather put $800 million in chicken and pork instead of putting $800 million into Africa's reconstruction. The reason African nations can't speak out for us is we do not put them in a financial position to be able to do away with the exploitative loans that they're forced to get from America, France, Britain, Belgium, and the United Nations. If we want Africa to be free to help us, we got to make Africa be free to help us. So as Africa goes, so goes the rest of us. I would probably state that one of the most ridiculous assumptions of the American Negro is he can progress.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please like, share, subscribe. And if you would like, please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. I would like to continuously see this channel grow, and it's growing by the minute. So it's growing by the day. So it's growing by the week. So I would love to see. I would love to see. I would love to do, let's just say this, I would love to do good content. I want to have to keep doing this back and forth thing with people who actually do not get it, do not get the concept of Africanity and how important it is. People are dying every single day. People like you and I are dying every single day, and the only thing we can never come up with is like, we gotta be with some white people. I refuse when we have other other Africans who are Moors, African who are indigenous people, who are Israelites. It doesn't matter. We will not stop until we are one family again. And once we become one family again, ain't no shit that we can ever think of. We'll just go do what we have to do. I don't want to say anything else because, you don't want to scare some white folks. We don't want to scare white people.
Without the progression of Africa. Do you think European Jews would get the respect they got if Israel wasn't strong? Do you think Arabs would get the respect they get if the Arab nations wasn't strong? Do you think Chinese would get the respect if China wasn't strong? Do you think Indians in India would get the respect they get across the world if India wasn't strong? The reason Black America is so disrespected and despised is because the African continent is so disrespected and despised. You will never achieve liberation. Reparations or not, the American African will never achieve liberation separate from Africa getting hers. That's true for the Caribbean. That's true for Central and South America. That's true for the Australians and the Canadians. No African will get free until Africa is free. Number 3, self-determination. Self-determination, African self-reliance. We reject using non-Africans to build or solve any African problem.
That means white folks, y'all.
That includes, well, not them, any other group. Any other group. Including the building of the Black family. This is why the Snow Bunny crisis must be rejected by all Pan-Africans. Because you're getting a white woman to build a Black family. You're going to get a Chinese woman to build a Black family. You're going to get an Arab female to build the Black family. That's integration. That is not self-determination. Black institutions must be built by all Blacks. Black family must be built by all Blacks. We must solve our problems ourselves. We don't hate nobody. We are not bigoted. We do not teach harm or hurt to any other branch of the human family, but we are 100% unapologetically committed to solving African people's problems by ourselves. We don't want no white money, we don't want no white ideas, and we don't want no white participation. It must be RBG or not at all. And the 4th principle I would offer for the sake of time.
Yes, sir.
Is we must have independent African economic and political power. If we reject integration, how can you be a member of the Democratic Party?
What would that look like? And I remember Dr. Claude Anderson, he emulated this dozens of times. And like the more you pour into your communities, the more likely laws would be created. But a community has to be formed first, before anything. You have to have your sources right there. And you can get sources from many different parts of the country, many sources from different cities and different states. You can get your sources right there, and you can continue to build off of those sources that you have, so you will have room to grow within that little space where we call a community, for it to expand. And that money circulates 8 to 12 times before it leaves Black hands. That's what he meant when he said all that. That's what he meant. A political, Black independent political party, that's all that means. It is for us, by us. But to some of you, it's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. We can't imagine what these Arabs got going down to Chinatown. So wait, none of you Negroes never even been to Chinatown before, and you ain't never had the time to stop and concentrate on everything that has been built by the Chinaman through the government. It's not the fact that they want to be diverse. No, it's the fact that they just want to dwell in your number. I mean, we got people coming from overseas. Excuse me, I'm swallowing. We have people coming from overseas, right? And they're the least of us, and they're building. They are the least of us. We're damn near fourth. We're damn near dead last. And they're coming in and they're building infrastructure. How does that look? Oh, you got to get a sign with them. You got to work with them. There ain't nothing that we can do. Bullshit. But people cringe when Dr. Umar says, take your Christmas money. Take your nail and your hair money. And that's like, what, 10 or 20 bucks? Just imagine if we did that every week. Put 10 and 20 bucks. And I know, it's inflation. Bullshit. You're still going to find a way. You're still going to find a way. Inflation or not. You're going to find a way. So it would be apropos to put $5 or $10 in a collection plate, not in a church. And that's another thing. That's another thing that you're putting your money into. You're putting the money in the church, and you're trying to get something that you're not going to get. You're putting something in. You're expecting something. What are you expecting? You're expecting to be free. You won't be free. Who would hold it? Obviously, you need 3 individuals, both male and female. 3 individuals, in my opinion, who will be responsible for holding that money. And putting it lock and key. All you're doing is just adding. You're not subtracting, you're adding. But of course, it's always the thing with black folks. It's like, what the fuck did you do to my money? What the fuck did you do with my motherfucking money? I want my money. Antisocial. My sister, what you doing up so late? What you doing up so late? Anyway, let me continue.
If we reject integration, how can you be a member of the Republican Party? We believe in self-determination in everything. So how can you be a card-carrying member of a white racist political party and consider yourself to be a Pan-Africanist? It doesn't make any sense. Mm-mm. We need black banks, black dollar, black business, black political union. All things must be baptized in triple blackness. Everything we do must be baptized in triple blackness. Our religion must be triple blackness. Our families must be triple blackness. Our behavior, our thinking, our institutions, our systems, our infrastructure, everything must be baptized in triple blackness until the liberation of African people is your religion. Until the liberation of African people is your religion, you are not serious about African emancipation.
That's what Booker T. Washington believed. That's what Marcus Garvey believed. I believe anybody who was a Pan-African believed.
Show me the systems that prove it. Show me this infrastructure, the schools, the programs that prove that we ain't interested in being free. Every time we fight the power structure, it is not to get free of the power structure. It's to be better treated by the power structure. We want sympathy. We don't want freedom.
So what is it that exactly? Well, I'm going to ask you, when you do open the school, and he will open the school. I'm just saying that because, of course, I got to be the one that says it, that everybody says that you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, blah, 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 blah. And I always come here with a straight face saying, what proof do you have? You have none. He's done everything. What have you done? You have done pretty much everything except put a red tape around the school and clip it once everything is intact and in order. So what have you particularly done for yourself?
That my detractors.
Basically, what I was trying to say was, you haven't even put not a damn dime into the project, which is the FD&G Academy. That's what I was trying to say. You haven't done anything necessarily to put a goddamn dime into the FD&G school, which we don't, well, was just to say, we don't support our own. Still to this very day, we support foolishness. We support clowns more than we support people who come up with more positive things. You know what I mean? Whether it be flower gardening or some shit like that. You know, growing tomatoes and growing vegetables in your backyard. There are very few individuals who will support the idea of growing your own food. You have very little individuals who would support the idea of coming up with a community center for our boys and our girls who are literally lost out there, who literally are not, or are being mistreated or mishandled. But we don't want to come up with any significant ideas when it comes to shit like this. No. But when Umar comes up with these ideas, it's unrealistic. He's not going to come out with it. He's not going to come out with the school. Now, what he wants to do, he better side with that white man. Bow your heads in shame. Bow your heads in shame. Some of you don't need to be speaking. If I had the power, just like when Daniel was thrown into the cave of lions, and the lions were gonna tear his ass up, God shut the mouths of the lions, proving that God is always with you when you do believe and you invest more in God than you invest in man. Favor will grow upon you. You will have favor. You follow a man's position, you ain't gonna get but so very far. So I wish I had that ability to shut the mouths of the detractors. I wish I had it. I wish I did. But people are going to talk, blah, 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 whatever. So, with that being said, I want to thank each and every single one of you for coming out and supporting your boy. This is We-On-Loc Nation. Please support the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I want to get to at least 2K. I'm damn near there already. I want to get to a 2K, and I want to keep providing good content for y'all. I really do. So if you help me get there, it will gladly be appreciated. And please, if you can, become a member. Go ahead, get that membership. Let's get this thing cracking. Y'all have a good night. Peace.